First of all, I just want to thank everybody for being here. That was a really special win. You got to give Wisconsin a lot of credit. That's a really good football team. It was going to take our best effort. It was going to take a lot of things that we focused on all week. It was going to be able to tackle better than we've ever tackled. That was the whole, hit them low, hit them low, hit them low, and swarm to the ball. Because that back is one of the best backs in the country. I mean, you're going to be watching him on Sundays in a few years. They've got one of the best coaching staffs in the country. They got one of the best programs in the country. And, when I first took the job here, this is what we wanted to be able to do when we got here. I still remember a story of a person asking me, and they're sitting there going, they told Heather and I said, listen, all you got to do is beat Wisconsin. You can be here forever. I said, so you're telling us if we beat Wisconsin and we go 1-11, we can be here forever? The guy's like, yep. I said, we need to make you the athletic director, And no offense, Mark. You're doing a great job. And I'm really appreciative of you. But you got to give Paul Chryst and his team a lot of credit. That's a really good football team. That was a really hard game. And I'm just so proud of our players, their resolve, their courage throughout the entire year, their courage throughout the week, what they were able to do. It was fun winning it in Camp Randall. It was even better winning it at home here at Huntington Bank Stadium. So it was a lot louder when we won it this time. And I'm so proud of our fans and so thankful for our fans, of everybody showing up and supporting our team. It's been a up and down journey here as we've gone through the year. But this is football, and this is life. And our players were incredibly resilient throughout the entire year. But again, got to give Paul Chryst' team a lot of credit. Really good football team. And the whole mission of the week was to get the axe. If it came with something, great. If it didn't, great. We wanted to get the axe. And we had a chance to be able to control our own destiny a few weeks ago, and weren't able to do that. We'll learn from that, grow, and build on that in the future as we keep going. But really proud of our football team, really proud of our fans, thankful for our administration, thankful for our state and our Twin City area. This is a really special moment.
PJ, you talked about only focusing on the axe, but after Iowa, was there any sort of residual that you had to kind of refocus the axe?
No, Andy, I'm not being a smart aleck at all. I said, but did you see any? I didn't. And we talked about it last night. Before we actually got on the bus to come here, I got to address the elephant in the room, because we talked about it all week, exactly that message. Doesn't matter what happens on Friday night. Doesn't matter what happens on Friday night. Doesn't matter what happens on Friday night. And then you go around the facility prior to having your meeting, your special teams meeting, before you're dressed up and getting ready to travel, and you see players down in there watching the training room and watching them here and there. You're like, nobody listens. And next thing you know, so I went in there and I said, listen, we had a chance to control what we could control a few weeks ago. We didn't take care of that. I said, but no matter what happens, which, obviously, Iowa beat Nebraska and eliminated us. Nope, it was always about the axe. And even the players said, Coach, it's always about the axe. So we said at the beginning of the week, it's about the axe. About one game season, championship season for the axe. That's the trophy this week. And just really proud of their courage to truly zone into that when nobody thought we would win. I'm not sure any of you picked us. I have no idea, but I assume not. And but that's what I mean about the external. No offense to all of you, all have jobs to do, and you're really good at it. You're really good at it. But internal, that's so hard to keep that message internal. And I just give our players a lot of credit, because I can say what I want till my face is blue, but they have to buy into it. They have to listen to that. They have to be the ones that tone it all out. And they did that. So I'm really proud of them for that.
What did you think of the defense? No touchdowns allowed. Offense.
That was the plan. That was exceptional. That was exceptional. And we talked about we had to be able to stop the run. We had to be able to hit them low and swarm. And we did. We hit them low. We swarmed. There wasn't many broken tackles. And if guys got a hand on them, they held on for dear life, and everybody rallied around them. We were going to be able to play in their face, man coverage, and press them, and make five beat you. And that was the whole game plan. Stop the run, tackle, get out of the 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2 games, win on first down, and we did that. And on offense, I think it was just the same. I mean, we gave them 7 points with a pick 6, but that's why Tanner's Tanner. He can respond from that. Things are going to happen. Look at the NFL, how many quarterbacks throw 2, 3, 4, 5 interceptions a game. It happens. And it's a tip ball. There's not much you can do after that ball's tipped and it's floating in the air. Sometimes it bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. But the way he responds after that, makes those huge throws. That's why I'm just so proud of him. For all the criticism he takes, he handles it with dignity and respect, and he understands the the position he's in, and I think that we don't give him enough credit for how he handles that. I don't, especially for everything he's been through and the things that have been written about him, which in my opinion are inappropriate at times. And as a kid, as a student athlete, but he's a powerful force. He's a winner, and that kid's going to do anything he wants in his life. And he had a great surrounding cast, a supporting cast. First half, we didn't make a lot of plays. We had chances, we just didn't make the play. Second half, it was just be you. The whole message this morning, halftime, was be you. Be you. Children's book, be you, was last night. Just be you. Be you. We shared a bunch of stories of who we all were. It was great. And they just went out there and was the best version of themselves. They were definitely them.
That start of the second half where you get the Wally interception and come back and turn it into a touchdown, kind of change the game.
Yeah, he's kind of high risk, high reward. When you put a true freshman out there on an island over and over and over, I mean, you see what happens at Iowa. I mean, you're going to have to understand there's going to be a touchdown here or there. He's young. He's a true freshman. He was in high school last year, and now he's covering some of the best receivers in the Big Ten, one-on-one with a ton of room. But to be able to make a break on that and do what he did, especially coming back from a PI call or anything like that, the resiliency and the resolve, and this program's all about responding, not reacting, right? How you respond matters, right? When you sulk in the what, right, that's just reacting over and over and over. I mean, this is powerful stuff these kids are doing that we can all learn from. And I know it's one game, but we put a lot into this game, and we put a lot into our players on the field and off the field. We all do. Our administration does. President Gable does. Mark Coyle does. Our operations staff does. Our equipment managers do. Our trainers do. Garrett Chernoff, our GM, does. Our director of football operations, Daniel Liff, does. Our players, we all put a ton into it. And I'm just so proud that they have a big reward for it because this was really, really, really difficult. And they overcame a lot.
PJ, you talked all year about the connection of this group. What does a win like today say about the resolve through all the difficult moments?
Yeah, it allows us to take the next right step. And I told them in the locker room I was really proud of them because they're a very eclectic group. We're all about fit here. Okay? It's not about just recruiting. It's about relationships and finding the right fit. Recruiting's one thing. That's going on the road. That's flying in an airplane. That's visiting a school. Everybody recruits. But how do you find the right fit and the relationship that fit us? Not just the conference, not just the colors, not just the logo, not just the area, but the fit. And you look at the guys who came in, the transfers. Niles Pinckney, huge game. Dalen Wright, huge game. Huge catch. Jack Gibbons, huge game, right? Trickett, huge kicks. These are portal transfers. This is why the portal's really good. If you can find the right fit. And every single one of those guys entered the portal, in my opinion, for the right reasons. To come find a great place that they can fit and play and join a culture that's right for them. And then you combine them with people like Wally and Bucky, right? And Kai, who training camp, there was no way they were going to see the field this year. And they got to experience being the two top tailbacks of beating a ranked team and beating Wisconsin at home and winning the Axe back their freshman year. And then you kind of add them to the old hats, right? And Tanners and the O-line and Co and Big O and Boye. I mean, to answer your question, Daniel, that's what I'm talking about. And we talked about TGIF way long ago. Remember that? Togetherness, gratitude, identity, and focus. Togetherness was the first thing we talked about. True togetherness. I mean, we could talk about, Dalen and his brother, passing away and Tanner's dad and all these things these guys had to deal with. And the injuries and everybody's emotional toll that Mohamed Ibrahim getting hurt in the first game. That's an all-American tailback. And then Trey, and then so on and so forth, right down the list. Bryce, go on and go on. And these guys just never blinked. Did they play perfect? No. Are people going to look back and say we should have won some games that maybe we were supposed to win? Sure, but that happens every year. Happened today, all over the country. And then there's times that you win games you're not supposed to win. What's supposed to mean anyway? You play the game to win the game. One game championship seasons. That's all it meant. That's it. And these guys truly took that upon themselves and focused on that. So they deserve a lot of credit.
Some of the highlights of the celebration for you.
I get rushed off the field so fast. I think, here's the first thing is the slide, challenging the ruling on that because we've been burned by that twice. And, where the start, when you go feet first, it starts immediately where you drop or where you start your slide. And I remembered that. and because we got burned on that twice. And so being able to challenge that and finally get into victory formation, I was just so happy for our fans. Because I think a lot of people out there, and I said this 2 years ago after 19. I said, we're not going back. On this podium, after Wisconsin, we lost, right? And I said, we're not going back. And I guarantee at some point throughout the game, the crowd's going, oh, here we go again. We got to stop thinking that way. Again, we're going to stop thinking that way, right? For us to be able to change that, we have to stop thinking that way no matter how much time we've been hurt. This just proves that we didn't get hurt today, right? We didn't get hurt. We didn't get hurt as a state. We won as a state. Like we won today. There's no buts. I was told a long time ago, don't believe anything before the but. It's a softener. Right? We won. We did it, Minnesota, right? And we've done it twice in 4 years. Okay. How's that?
Take 1 or 2 more for Coach.
You got 18 days till signing day. How excited are you to hit the road now?
Very excited. That's what I love about our job, right? It just goes, It never gets stale. There's not 2 days that are ever the same. And that's what I love about our job. We go right into recruiting after this. I think Heather's taking me for dinner for my birthday, so that's good. I think we're going to bring the axe with, so that'll be nice. It'll be a nice birthday celebration. And I'm just really excited to get on the road. We've got some great commits, and we got to get some more. And Garrett Chernoff and his office and his team and his recruiting office has a lot of work to do, and we know that. We've been doing that. Hosted the most recruits we've ever hosted, ever, in our 5 years being here today. And they all got to witness that. So we can't wait. Recruiting's everything. You know that. Relationship building and fitting is even more important.
We have 1 more for Coach.
How special was it for your sixth-year seniors going out today?
This is why they came back. And again, they would love to have the pig, and they'd love to win the Big Ten West, and love to be in a championship. But again, the axe means so much to our state. I know that. And to be able to have them their last regular season game to win the axe, nothing's more fitting. They get to remember this the rest of their life. I told them pregame, I said, it's about moments and memories. And I said, the only way you create moments and memories is just being yourself. But you got to be the best version of yourself to do that. And you can't allow somebody to say, well, I was, but don't believe anything before the but. And for us, they went out there and did it. And they put a period at the end of it, and an exclamation mark, not a question mark. And they made a statement, of why they came back. And they controlled what they could control. And that was why I'm really proud of them. Because there wasn't one person last night sad about what happened with Iowa and Nebraska. Would we have liked it to be different? Sure. But we had plenty of time to control that. We told them that. So the pouting was done. They were just ready to play. And our coaches and our organization deserve a lot of credit for that. They deserve a lot of credit for that because they got to go out there and do it. Anything else? No more? Nothing, Chip? All right, row the boat, sky him out. Go Gophers. Thank you very much.
Jack, what did you feel like was key with your guys' defensive game plan to stop Allen and keep him in check?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really talented back, obviously. Seen that for the last few weeks. Just really emphasize all week, kind of tackling him low because he's super physical. And then we did a really good job, I feel like, Coach Rossi mixing in some early first and second down pressures that we haven't really been doing all year. And I think that they weren't kind of expecting that. Kind of allowed us to get some negative plays on first and second down to kind of get into those third and long situations. We knew if we let them get third and short, that's where they wanted to be and stay on schedule. So kind of blitzing on early downs to get them off schedule was big for us tonight, I think.
Tanner, what's it feel like winning the Axe at home?
Pretty elite. It's a pretty special feeling. It makes me think about when we won it in 2018, how much it meant to the state, to this program. But being able to do it here in front of our fans definitely means a lot. Just thankful to be part of this team and be a part of this program and be a part of the state that cherishes playing in games like this and be able to play in this rivalry. Hats off to them. They're an elite football team, so to be able to play against a team like that and in important games, it's pretty fun.
Tanner, what did it mean to you to bounce back from the pick six and make a couple of those big throws later?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about response. Something that I pride myself on, and we pride ourselves on here in this culture. And turning the ball over, you can't let it happen. And so as soon as that crucial mistake happened, I knew I had to be able to just stay focused, stay calm, execute, and really just take it one play at a time. Don't force anything, but my teammates had my back the whole time, and the defense did an elite job of being able to limit them to, short fields and all kinds of stuff. They did a really elite job. So they had my back the whole time, and so that definitely meant a lot to me.
Tanner, what were the highlights from the celebration?
I think it's just a collective thing. You see players who, I played with here when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, and how much it means to those guys. Everyone who gives to our program, how much it means to them, and how appreciative we are for those people too. And just to see it on our fans' faces, I mean, it really means a lot because, we're thankful to play here at Huntington Bank Stadium at the University of Minnesota, to play in front of elite fans that love us and support us, and to see how happy they were really meant a lot as well.
Jack and Matthew, what's your first impression of this rivalry game and getting to be part of the celebration after it?
First experience, very good. I would do it again for sure.
Yeah.
Great success.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was kind of said after the Iowa game, like playing in games like that is the reason I wanted to come here. I'm sure Matt, same way. Just to play in historic games like that, rivalry games in front of big crowds and hostile environments, like that's what you dream of doing when you're a little kid. And so playing in front of that, this home crowd here and getting this win, like, is something that you grew up dreaming about wanting to do. So it was awesome.
Matthew, I saw a video of you rowing the boat with some fans on the field after the game. What was that moment like?
It was special just to be able to enjoy this time and share it with the fans and teammates and everybody that puts in so much work to get us where we are.
Jack, was this as physical as a game that you've had this year?
I mean, definitely up there. That's kind of the Big Ten is just teams that want to run the ball and stop the run. And so that's my kind of football. I love playing in this conference. I wish I could do it for a few more years, but I just love games like this when both teams want to run the ball. Both teams got great run defenses. Yeah, it's how football should be.
Tanner, what did you see pre and post snap on the over route touchdown to Ottman Bell?
Yeah, I mean, it was, something that we had in our game plan. So an elite job of seeing that and being able to feel out, by our offense coaches of when the right time to dial it up was, and, being able to, hold the free safety or the strong safety with the two posts over the top with speed threats. And then Kai picked up a phenomenal block on a wrap blitz, from two of the best linebackers in the country. That's not an easy thing to do against a 260-pound linebacker. So him being able to block that, and then Chris winning with speed, being able to catch it and put it in the end zone, it was elite execution all the way around, and an elite dial-up from our offense coaches.
Jack, I'm sure you heard all week how good the Wisconsin run game was and how tough Allen is. As a defensive player and as a leader on the defense, is that kind of an extra chip on your shoulder? Say, hey, we got a pretty good defense too.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely respected their run game coming in. He was kind of on a crazy run, like I think he was averaging like 150 yards a game starting out. And so definitely had a ton of respect for what they wanted to do, but definitely something that you got to kind of let your pride kick in a little bit when a team's going to come in and you know they want to establish the run. And so kind of felt good to kind of step to the plate and take on that challenge and have some success.
Tanner, did you have a sense that this might be a kind of game where you'd probably be asked to throw it a little bit more and maybe get some of those one-on-one?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we talked about all week because we're going to have to win our one-on-one matchups. Talked about it on Sunday when we flipped the page from Indiana to Wisconsin. We're going to have to win one-on-one matchups outside. And our guys did that, on a consistent basis today. Hats off to Wisconsin's defense. They're tough. They're not going to give you much. You got to earn it. And so, it's something that we knew we were going to have to do, and our guys were ready for, and made the plays when it counted, and just can't thank our guys enough for going out there and making the plays, and being able to prepare for that all week, knowing that it's something we're going to have to do to be able to give us a chance to win this game today.
Tanner, did you get anything from the BU children's book and anything from that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a common phrase that me and Coach talk about a lot, actually, is just to be yourself. And to me, the way I think about it is to be exactly who God created me to be. I'm very honored and blessed to be in this position that I'm in. And so to hold anything back, it's pointless. You got to let yourself, be fully who you are. And that's something that I've grown and developed into being, the man I am today, the football player I am today. So I think it definitely hit and struck a chord with me 100%, and it's something that was pretty cool, and I'll never forget that book that we read last night.
Jack, how pivotal were the safeties and corners and run support tonight?
Yeah, those guys did an awesome job. Given what they want to do, we had to ask them to do a lot of different things, like come down and fit the run, and then also they were playing a lot of tight coverage on the outside where they were on an island, and they just had to win matchups. And so those guys just continued to compete all night, and played an incredible game. So yeah, can't give those guys enough credit for what they did in the run and the pass game.
Jack, did you have any highlights from the celebration?
Yeah, it was just fun seeing all the fans come down, how all the support that they were giving us, and they were also excited to have the Axe back home. And then every once in a while, kind of in the chaos, I would see one of my teammates or something and give them a big hug and go crazy for a little bit because it was just kind of bodies everywhere. So it was cool to see some of the guys as we would go around. But yeah, it was a blast. It was something I'll remember forever for sure.
Did you guys notice that jump around was being planned?
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
Nailed.
Talking about putting points on the board.
Any more questions for student athletes?
Was it difficult at all? I mean, obviously you guys talk about blocking out the Iowa-Nebraska game, but you guys, it sounds like people were around the complex kind of watching it. Was it at all challenging to try to put that past you once you guys were in that spot?
Well, I think first and foremost, what we talked about all week is it's all about the Axe. We know that we didn't put ourselves in the position to control our own destiny, so we knew that. But, obviously you wish for a different outcome. Of course, we wish that we would be able to go play in Indianapolis for a Big Ten title next weekend. But, we'll learn from not being able to put ourselves in that position. And I think after that game happened, it was just, for us, it was, hey, all week it's been about the Axe. That's what it's all been about. We have an opportunity to go, play in one of the greatest rivalries in college football and win a special trophy. So that's what our focus was on. And truly it was, Coach talked about it like right away, addressed it as it's all about the Axe. And that's kind of what we talked about all week and what our focus was on.
The bigger indicators of success for this team is winning the field position battle. How much of an emphasis do you guys put on that in the special teams room?
Very large emphasis on that. I mean, special teams is what connects the offense and the defense, and anytime we can flip the field with Crawford and give our defense a long field, or get a return with Brock and Bucky, whoever's back there, give our offense some great field position to set up, then it's easier to put points on the board. So it's a huge emphasis of our special teams, and tonight I thought we did a very good job of that.
You guys are all roommates, right?
Yeah.
To the house?
Oh, I wish.
One of these days we might be able to sneak
I don't
it
know.
out.
This guy's got a little bit of pull in the organization. Maybe we can get it. Get it like a week or something. I don't know.
Everyone all set with questions? All right, thank you. Hey, here, we'll bring Boyd up. I think we're still waiting on Chris. We'll bring Boyd up.
How's everybody doing?
Boy, what does this winning the Axe? What does it mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. I mean, especially after last year, how we, lost by a field goal and the heartbreak that brought to the whole team, and the fact that, we all sat in that locker room after when we felt that. And on the bus ride home, coming back to Minneapolis, that one sat with us. That one sat with us a lot. And we came up with a thing we did this offseason, Axe Tough period, and that's where we worked on these type of things, working these type of plays, especially with one heavy team. So, I mean, going through that whole offseason, thinking about that and just having that in the back of our heads, this is everything we worked for. And just, being able to bring that to fruition and actually go out and do it, it means the world, especially with the guys that we worked out every summer, all day, all summer, working in the spring, working in the fall camp and everything. So that just means the world, especially bringing it back to Minnesota for our fans.
Boy, growing up in Minnesota, was that something that you always envisioned, running across the field to get the Axe?
100%. Since freshman year, that's something I've wanted to do. And especially to be able to do it at home in front of our fans, it means the world to me.
What did it take to shut down the run game like you guys did tonight?
I mean, all week we talked about the things that we had to do. They had a very explosive back. He's had a great season. He's been averaging, I think, over 100 yards every game. And, I mean, we had a plan installed by our DC, and he just told us what we have to do to constrict him and keep him in the pocket and make sure he couldn't break one on us. And then we bought into it. We bought into it all week. And, we made sure, just like they've had, Wisconsin's known for great backs. Before him, they had Jonathan Taylor and, tremendous backs in the past. So we just always had to have a plan and prepare for that type of O-line and, running back room. And they always have that. So just making sure that we keep that plan and going to and bringing it to playing with it and just trusting our coaches, trusting the staff, and trusting everybody that they have a plan that it will work.
Was there also maybe a little extra chip on your shoulder knowing that there's probably a lot of talk this week of like, hey, Allen's a stud, and not a lot of talk maybe about your defense? Did you guys take out a little extra motivation on that?
I mean, there's always a chip on our shoulder, everything we do. And, I mean, we know week in and week out that every team that we go against in the Big Ten is going to be a great team. I mean, the Big Ten is just growing and growing with talent, and every year there's new guys who come in with great talent, especially as a freshman coming in and doing the things he did this year. We knew that we had to have our A game and have to be ready for that type of play.
Boy, how key were the safeties and the cornerbacks and run support today within the scheme you guys had?
I mean, they held us together like our glue. I mean, especially in the situations where we were fitting our gaps. Everyone was fitting to their gaps. Anytime it bounced outside or bounced through, they were our safety valve, especially in the situation on the outside runs or even up the middle sometimes, that they were our safety valve to make sure that everything would get on the ground, and that's their job. And, I mean, they always do that. We always can trust in each other, and that's the thing about this defense is that the trust level between us is ridiculous. Like, we trust each other to play at our best and be in position for every play, and that's the thing that I think that lets us play so well because no one's trying to cover up for nobody else, and we just play and do our job, and that's the biggest thing we preach is just do your job, and you don't have to do much else.
Ray, how much did last year's close loss sit with you guys because you had been in that stadium before and won it, and then to lose in overtime like you did?
I mean, last year's loss sat with us. I mean, this week we saw our coach sending a picture of the scoreboard last year, and it just, reminded us of everything that we went through last year, especially, with the season that we had through COVID and everything, and then having our 2 games canceled to, play on our last 2, and how that was how we ended our season last year, and that was the last game we were able to play in, and so just to be able to end the regular season and to play this game and to be in the situation that we are, I mean, it felt like we had to go out there and ball, especially being our senior night. You know, for all the guys who, you know, this is their last year they're playing, it felt great to let them leave on that note.
Who was the first one to the act?
I think it was a race. I think Ko actually beat everybody. He was on the field at the kneel, but it was between Ko, Big O, and Coney.
What were your highlights of the celebration?
The highlights of the celebration are the fans. I mean, to this day, I mean, our fans, they're loyal. And the fact that, you know, they're with us through everything, and being able to give them the chance to storm the field and go out there and celebrate with us and see them on the field with us, I mean, it means everything. I have my family there. I have my friends there. And just be able to run into them and, you know, give them hugs and just be able to do this in front of them, in front of our home state, in front of our fans. Because I remember in 2018 when we won, it almost felt like we were the only ones out there celebrating. You know, they had their whole fan base, and now be able to do it in front of our own fan base, that means the world to us.
Boy, how key was it to be able to get off of blocks and defeat them, especially against an offensive line that likes to get to the second level a lot?
I mean, that was the game plan because, I mean, they're really good at, you know, staying on the blocks, and that's how they create their runs. That's how they create their runs. And especially, you know, it's one thing to be in your gap against Wisconsin, but you have to do more than be in your gap. And that's the one that we preach this all week is doing your job and making sure you're in gap and disengaging because the O-linemen are really good at sticking on their blocks. And that's one thing we watched from film this week and seeing how they played other teams. And that's how they, you know, get their 12-yard, 4-yard, 5-yard runs over and over again is by staying on their blocks and making sure that their running back has either a crease or any type of small hole for them to run through.
Did you feel like this was the best crowd since Ohio State, and how, did you notice that during the game at all?
I mean, definitely. I mean, our fans, they came out today, and we felt them. We felt them every situation. Anytime the ball, it was swinging our way, especially on the pick, especially on the big plays that were made on defense. We could hear them. Our fans were so loud today, it made it a little bit hard for us to communicate on defense at times. I was running over to guys, you know, talking to them. I had to get, you know, face-to-face with them so they could hear me and stuff. So, I mean, hearing them today, they were really there. We could definitely feel them, and we noticed them today.
Everyone else have a Boyd? Thank you, Boyd.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, sure. Chris, how does it feel to get the axe again?
Amazing. It's heartwarming. Stuff like that, man. Field being stormed, fans going crazy. I think I took like 300 pictures tonight. It's just things like that, man. That's why you do this. That's why you play football. That's why you come here to Minnesota and do these things. So I can't even talk. I'm excited. I'm still, it's just, I don't know. I'm hyped right now. So.
What were some of the highlights of you on the field afterwards? Did you run into anybody or what happened?
Ran into all the teammates, all the fans for sure. The best thing is always seeing my mom. I think seeing my mom always gives me, a look back if I wouldn't be here without her. I always sacrificing my work, so that's like the first person I see and hug. So it's just awesome seeing everyone here, seeing everyone on the field just being stormed, and it's just amazing.
Chris, what did you see on the snap, before the snap on the over route touchdown that you had in the third quarter?
I'm just glad our coaches gave us the best game plan to go be us. They put us in the best position possible. It was just they played basically cover one all game. It was a man pressed all game, and it was just we sent our two guys outside just across the field, and I just came under. And it was a great play, and I'm just glad I did what I can do for my brothers, and I was excited. Now I was hyped. So.
Chris, what was it like to see Tanner bounce back after the early pick six and make some of those big throws late?
For sure, man. That's Tanner. That's what he does. Tanner never lets anything get to him. Tanner's been through everything in this world, and some people in this world couldn't go through what he's been through, and to still come in and lead this team every day with a smile on his face and be ecstatic and just show up every day. That's what a leader is, and that's what Tanner Morgan is, and that's someone I look up to still to this day. So to see him lead us to this victory, it's nothing more that I would want to see. So shout out to Tanner Morgan. I love that guy to death.
What was the message at halftime going down? 10-6 and not executing on offense very much.
Literally 2 words, just be you. Simple as that. Coach Fleck looked at everyone on the team and just said, be you. He wasn't hyped or anything. He literally just said, be you, and that's what we all did. We just played football, man. This is the game that we all grew up playing. It's a game we all love, and it's just something you just did it growing up. And it's just go play football, go have fun, and just be you. So that's what we did. We just did us and just play ball.
Chris, how impressive has it been for Bucky and Kai just to step in with all the injuries that you guys had at running back and play like they did in a game like this?
Amazing. I tell them all the time, man, you guys are the best in the nation. You can be the best in the nation. Simple. With coaching from Mo being out, Bryce, Preston, Coach Burns and Fleck, those guys coaching them up. Those two, they got heart, man. To be freshmen and come in and play in these big games like this and do the things they do, that's something special. And that's something they're going to carry on forever.
How much did last year's loss in overtime at Camp Randall, a place that you guys had won the last time you were there, how did that sit with you?
I kind of thought about it like all week, kind of. Especially I got knocked out literally the first play of the half on kick return. So I thought about it all week, but I didn't let my game in my head get emotional. I played with emotion instead, and I just stuck it out. We came together as a team and we fought back. So the game last year was definitely something that was disappointing, but to come back and bring it back home to this team and to this state is something that I'm forever grateful for.
Any more for Chris?
Schmidt.
All right, thank you.
I love you all.